Hello. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. I'd appreciate if you'd click the like button. Turn this on. A little dark. I imagine everyone has seen the YouTube video, the ad that CBS put on. The name of the program was The Good Fight. And the ad featured a black African actor engaged in a soliloquy whether or not Richard Spencer should be punched. Richard Spencer's suit. I'm a lawyer, but the only litigation I've done of any measure has been related to real estate. So I'm no expert, but my guess is that he will not. I heard him speak on his stream the other day, I think it was last night, and he indicated he would not sue unless he was told he had a good chance of recovery. It takes time, money, so forth. And he has also kind of downplayed the fact that it did him any damage, real damage. He was upset, he's angry, but he indicated that he's living his life normally. He's not really taking extra precautions because of this. And so I don't think he can come up with the damages that you need to justify a lawsuit against an enormous, defendant like CBS. However, this is a very important point. This is a very important place where we're at today. Because to me, we should approach this, what it means in terms of what it means for the alt-right, what it means for the establishment, which has basically left CBS and so forth, in three levels. The first level is this. Someone came to CBS and said, and one of the employees, or one of the outside contractors that are working on this series, this program, and said, let's do an ad about punching somebody in the alt-right. Now, why would they do that? They would do that because they want to, A, gin up interest in the program itself, and B, kind of advertise their bona fides as anti-racist establishment types. There's really no downside to that in this milieu that we are in today. If they had said, it had been, let's leave Richard Spencer's name out of it. Let's say we've got a debate on the use of force against racism. Well, it becomes an interesting debate, but we all know the way that CBS and the other mainstream media platforms would come out on it, namely, the racist is always wrong. So that's level one. CBS is considering an ad that glorifies violence against racism. They may name the alt-right in this ad, they may not. What is the message on level one for the alt-right? There are two messages there, and one is, congratulations to the alt-right, we are no longer engaged in this fantasy that you can be completely ignored. That shouldn't be discounted by members of the alt-right. they've had the success in the sense that now they've got to name them. There are young white men out there in numbers enough so that they cannot be ignored. We're no longer in this myth that any engagement with these ideas represents a justification or glorification of the alt-right. The alt-right is here. That's level one. Level two, a little higher level, a more dicey level. The CBS executives are kicking this ad around. And they're saying, somebody comes up with the idea, why don't we talk about Richard Spencer specifically? Why don't we name Richard Spencer? Why don't we get away from this general theme that's so popular? That the alt-right represents young, white, violent men between the ages of 17 and 40, something like that. Why don't we go after them with a name? Why don't we justify attacking their leader? Now, I'm sure that this was run by some lawyers there. Richard Spencer is a public figure, so he's going to have to take the abuse that public figures take, justifiably so. But on this level, there's an additional message to the young white men that are part of the alt-right. If they are willing to name Richard Spencer and to show Richard Spencer being hit and to satirize and glorify that, the young men in the alt-right know something. This is valuable information. The information is, excuse me. The information is that they dislike you. The information is they are not being, they're not really engaged in seeing whether or not they can have a dialogue with you. If they name Richard Spencer, they're out to crush you. You know that if you're in the alt-right. So that's the second level. Once they name Richard Spencer, we see that the capacity of dialogue dramatically diminishes. The next area, the third area, is that they withdrew the ad. They withdrew the ad after a brief period of time, my understanding is. So what? Do we think that they have seen the errors of their ways? Not in a bit. It doesn't do them any harm. They wanted to generate some discussion, some publicity for their movie. They've done that. The fact that now the movie is engaged in the message that it has, the job's been done as far as they're concerned. The fact that they withdrew the ad doesn't mean that they are succumbing to outside pressure. It may be that they were a little bit surprised by the condemnation that it seems to have driven across the conservative spectrum. And this has been noted by Richard Spencer and other people friendly with his position, that we see, as they say, all light positions, all light people coming to Richard Spencer's defense on this. And well, they should. This is, whatever your position is on Richard Spencer and on white identitarianism, which is the expression he likes to use, whatever your position is on that, clearly, this is over the line. You can't, I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this, where you get a mainstream publication, TV network, it's like the New York Times or the Washington Post or the Boston Globe or any of these high-end establishment type periodicals glorifying an illegal punch. I mean, this is outrageous. Here again, it's a message to the alt-right at this level that they're not going to forget it. The young men who have been drawn to the alt-right message between the ages of 17 and 40, 35, 40, are a very important demographic in this country, in any white country. Maybe the most important. It's not old men like me. That's the key demographic for the future. And if they take the position and they have learned, and I think they should have learned, that people aren't going to treat them fairly, that's an important message for them to pick up. So on balance, I think that CBS may have made a successful ad in terms of having a lot of notoriety and publicity for their show. And basically, at its core, that was what they wanted. But I think if their subsidiary desire was to weaken or laugh at or mock the alt-right, they've made a mistake, because this is going to stiffen the spine of a lot of young men who have had it with this kind of double standard hypocrisy and promotion of violence in a hypocritical and unjust way. All right, thank you for watching. Appreciate it.